Hey, it's Ryan Dice again, and welcome to the 3x Method mini class. Before we dive in, there are two things that I need you to do. First, if you haven't watched the intro video yet, be sure to do that before you watch this video. It's the one with me in front of the whiteboard, and there should be a link to it somewhere on this page. Second, be sure to download the Conversion Hacks handout below this video. All right, should be somewhere below this video, somewhere on this page. It's going to help you follow along and ensure that you don't miss a thing, because we're going to be covering 7 conversion hacks going to be spread across all these different videos, and I don't want you to miss one, so it's going to make sure that you don't miss anything. Now, I want to kick off this class with something that I know you're going to like, because everybody loves examples and everybody loves case studies. And this is a case study that I call Operation Disaster. And you'll see why in just a little bit. But more importantly, in this case study, I'll show you how I took a business from $30,000 a month to over $1 million a month. Now, I don't want the numbers to freak you out. This was a business that, yes, was already doing really, really well, but as you're about to find out, it's a business that was definitely on its way down. So here's the backstory. In 2011, I stumbled across a business that was really struggling, even though they were doing everything that, quote unquote, they tell you to do. They, number one, had a great product. They were targeting a passionate and growing market. Their sales copy was well written. They had opt-in forms and squeeze pages, and they even had a list of 113,636 people that they had built up over time. But despite all those things, the business was completely in the toilet. This proves, by the way, that the money is not in the list like a lot of the so-called experts like to say. In fact, I've acquired a number of businesses with really big subscriber lists that make no money. Okay, so the money is absolutely not in the list. So here's what they were doing wrong. Here was the problem with the business. They would get an opt-in, all right, and they would send the lead a little autoresponder sequence about their product. And this business, they really only had one product. So somebody opted in and they were going to get information about this one product. And if they didn't buy after a few days, they just did a random broadcast several times a week about the same dang product. Remember, they just had this one product. So the list was burned out. I mean, really burned out. And they were tired of hearing about the same thing over and over and over again. Probably sounds familiar, right? The truth is, it was getting ugly. Really, really, really ugly. Sales were grinding to a halt, and worst of all, traffic costs were going up as new competitors were entering the market. Needless to say, the business was in danger of going under. So here's what we did to turn things around, and specifically, here's how we doubled sales almost immediately. Like I said, they had a list of 113,636 subscribers, but they just had that one $47 product that no one was buying anymore because everyone on this list had been exposed to this product a number of times. The exact same message, the exact same offer over and over and over again. They were done with it. Now, we knew that we needed a new offer, but there really wasn't time. I mean, creating a new product can take a while. I mean, even if you're really fast and really good at it, it could take a while. This business didn't have that long. So instead, we took a bonus report that was bundled with the main product and offered it for sale for just $7. So this was a course that taught a number of strategies, right? And one of the bonus reports that came with it was really good. It was very popular. It was very, got a lot of really good feedback. So we plucked that one little report off and we sold it standalone for $7. Now, just to be clear, I really didn't care about the $7, right? We weren't going to get rich selling a $7 report, and I knew that. But I wasn't trying to get rich selling this report. I just wanted buyers. I just wanted to reactivate this list. And the reason, you may be wondering why, why are you selling something if it's not about making money? Well, according to my research, if someone takes that $7 offer, if they become a buyer, they're instantly 10 times more likely to buy the main product. So the act of purchasing that initial product, even if they just gave me $7, heck, even if they just give us $1, the fact that they got out their wallet and gave me some money suggests that they're 10 times more likely to do it again. It actually causes them to be more likely. And this just gets back to basic aspects of commitment and consistency, right? Once somebody starts down a path, they tend to finish. So here's what happened. Like I said, the list was 113,636 people. When we released this $7 offer, we wound up selling 9,926 units to that list in 30 days. So it was an 8% average conversion rate of the people who clicked through and went to the page. We converted 8%, which for this list and for this market was unprecedented. We had never seen anything like that before. And what was even better is 2,536 of those folks upgraded to the $47 main course. It was a 26% conversion rate of the people who bought the previous offer. So the $7 report sales generated $69,482, and the core offer sales generated $119,192 for total sales of $188,674. So that's $188,674 in sales from a tired offer to a dead list. All right, so let's break down that math just so you can kind of understand how this went down. Before, when they just had the $147 offer, the average conversion rate, and this had dropped dramatically, but overall the average conversion rate was around 1.5%. So not bad, but not great either. 1.5% conversion rate to the original $47 offer. So if we send 1,000 visitors to that site, then that would yield around $705 if you go in and do the math. 1,000 visitors was worth around $705. Where after we made this change with the $7 report and an 8% conversion rate, even though it's only $7, that was still worth $560 for every 1,000 visitors. The core offer, with a 26% conversion rate, that was an additional $987, again, per 1,000 visitors. So the total revenue increase on a per 1,000 visitor basis was $1,547. It was a 220% increase in total visitor value. In other words, our average visitor value more than doubled. We more than doubled our average visitor value as a result of doing that. That's a big, big deal. Now, this one little trick is just the tip of the iceberg. In fact, it's just one of the 7 conversion hacks that you'll be receiving in this mini class. We call this first hack product splintering. Okay? Product splintering. It's number 1 on your worksheet, so if you printed it out, you're going to want to write it down. So here's how product splintering works. Let's say you've got a product, right? Or you've got a service. Now, you and I both know that that product, that deliverable, whatever it is that you're offering, it's made up of a lot of smaller little chunks, right? So if it's a multi-module course, right, there's all these different modules in there. If it's a service, right, you're kind of doing a lot of little things to build up to the broader base service, right? I mean, if you're designing a website, you're probably going to create a logo and you're going to do some wireframing, right? So there's every product or service is made up of a lot of smaller little products and services. So what we're doing with product splintering is we're kind of taking some of these out and we're selling them one off. Okay, we're making it to where we're going to take little chunks, little bits and pieces of our product, and we're going to splinter them off and sell them to our market, because we know, like I said before, if somebody buys a little splinter product, they're 10 times more likely to buy the main offering. So here's what I mean. This is the course that I was talking about before in the business that we wound up ultimately acquiring. It was a course called 40 Days and 40 Nights, and it was essentially how to survive, right? How to survive, be off the grid for at least 40 days and 40 nights. Now, out of this big multi-module course, we were able to extract over a dozen different reports, right? Over a dozen different reports on all things from, food storage to water purification to generating your own power and energy, all this stuff. And one of them, the one that we got the best feedback on, that was the one that we wound up plucking out and selling for $7. So this is the example that I gave you before. We sold this report for $7, 170 gallons a day on how to purify water, and then we upsold them the main course of 40 days and 40 nights. It was a splinter of the main course. We were able to pluck it out of the main course. And that's how we were able to increase revenues by 220% practically overnight. We were able to show them something new. We were able to show them something different. And the next month we splintered off another report and repeated the same process. And the month after that we did it again and again and again. Ultimately, that's what allowed us to grow this business from $30,000 a month to well over $1 million a month in just about 12 months. By changing up our front-end product, we could keep our marketing fresh and go back to the same list, selling the exact same back-end product week after week, month after month, without burning out our list. Right? If they weren't interested in one report, no problem. We'd bring a different one to them next week. If they were interested in that one and they bought, great. Now we'll show them our main product. But if they never expressed interest, they never saw the main product. What this means is that you're not having to sell your main product, your core offer, to anyone unless they're already a buyer. That's how you build long-term value in a list. But it's not just information products that this works with. Okay? There's somebody out there on eBay right now who sells vintage guitars. And every time he sells a vintage guitar, you get guitar picks with it, right? Well, what he did was brilliant. He said get 100 guitar picks for just $8. Now, who's going to buy a guitar pick who doesn't play the guitar, right? You're not going to buy a guitar pick unless you play the guitar. So in going out there and splintering off that piece of the package, right, the guitar pick, which would ordinarily come bundled with the core offer, which is the guitar, he was now able to acquire, and you can see if you look on the far right-hand side, he's got over 91,000 reviews, which means he probably has hundreds of thousands of buyers, of people who are interested in guitars that he's been able to acquire as a result of product splintering. It's same thing is true with the buddy of mine and my business partner who at one point in time was the world's third largest candle manufacturer. Yep, he was the third largest candle manufacturer in the world. And before that, he actually sold products and different like waxes and fragrance oils to people who wanted to make their own candles. So if you want to make your own candle, do you know the one thing that you need more than anything else? What's the one thing you think you need more than anything else if you're going to make your candle? Yep, you need some wicks. So what he wound up doing is he wound up selling wicks, and he sold his wicks at dead cost. Everybody out there, he obliterated everybody else in the candle supply business because everybody was buying their wicks from him. And when he had a wick buyer, he had a candle buyer. He had someone who was interested in making their own candles. Again, he splintered off that component of his offer. Pretty dang smart. And of course, once they bought a wick from him, he said, hey, if you're buying a wick, I'm guessing you make your own candles. Would you like to buy some wax? Would you like to buy some dyes? Would you like to buy some fragrance oils? All these different things. And he ultimately became a massive, massive company as a result of that. And it works for software too. Check this out. This is Shopify. Shopify is one of the most dominant e-commerce players out there. If you want to launch an e-commerce store, Shopify is probably the #1 place to do it. Now, one of the features that they have when you launch a Shopify store is you can create a Facebook store for free. Again, this is a feature that is bundled within the Shopify universe, right? So when you get a Shopify store, one of the features is you can create a Facebook store for free. But look what they're doing. They're splintering off their marketing. They're saying, how would you like to sell products directly through Facebook? Well, if you get a Shopify store, you can do that. They're splintering off the offer. Yes, when you sign up, are you getting a Shopify account? Of course you are, but they're splintering their messaging. And they can do this for each and every one of the features that they have inside of Shopify. It's brilliant. It's brilliant because you can keep going back to the same leads that you have, making a unique offer, presenting a unique message without having to come up with unique core products over and over and over again. Pretty dang smart. And it also works for services. This is a picture that we took from a trade show of one of our clients, which is a marketing agency. And they were like a lot of our clients, they were stuck, right? They were absolutely stuck because they were doing what most local marketing agencies do. They were setting up booths at trade shows to try to sell small business owners. In this case, it was actually a locksmith trade show, $500 to $2,000 a month SEO and pay-per-click services. So that's what they do. They work for local businesses, plumbers and contractors, stuff like that, and they do search engine optimization and pay-per-click marketing for these local businesses at between $500 and $2,000 a month. But the reality is most small business owners don't want to risk $500 to $2,000 a month on an unproven agency. They just don't want to do it. So their sales were understandably terrible. I mean, they had a really hard time selling this service. Seriously, they'd be lucky to pull 2 or 3 new clients out of a 5,000 attendee trade show. And in the marketing world, that's what we call a bad conversion rate, by the way. It's not a good conversion rate when you're only able to get, a couple of sales and a captive audience like that. And it makes sense. It makes absolute sense. They were essentially, proposing on a first date. And when you go up to a small business owner and you say, hey, give me $2,000 a month, that's equivalent to going up to a girl at a bar and saying, hey, you want to go out for dinner sometime or maybe get married, right? It's just weird. I mean, you're asking for the moon right off the bat. But this is exactly what we do over and over and over again. I mean, in the business I referenced earlier in the previous case study of Operation Disaster, right? The problem that they had there is they were asking for $50 right out of the gate. Well, in that market, that's actually a fairly high price point. Now, $7? That's not as much. $7 is kind of like, hey, you want to go get coffee. So No one wants to be this girl, right? So for a first date, I was thinking we could figure out the names for our children, right? But that we make fun of this type of thing, but this is exactly what we do time and time again to our customers. We have our core offer. We have the main product or service that we're so proud of, that we want to sell, that we know if people will buy this, we're going to do a great job for them and they're going to be thrilled. But the reality is we're kind of saying, hey, nice to meet you, let's get married. Customers, especially today, they want to date. They want to kind of ease into a relationship, and you've got to give them opportunities to do that. And product splintering is one of the best ways to do it. So going back to the case study of our marketing agency friends, here's what we told them to do. We said instead of trying to sell the be-all, end-all search engine optimization pay-per-click service, right, which is hard to explain and obviously very, very, very expensive, just offer to get these business owners set up with a Google Plus listing, right? Get them set up with a Google Plus listing, write their description for them, so that it actually ranks pretty well and has the keywords in it that are relevant, and get them set up on Google AdWords. So at least at a bare minimum, they can start buying some ads for their own brand name in their own town and do it for 20 bucks. Right? It takes maybe 30 minutes to get these folks set up. Do it for 20 bucks. Right? You're not going to make any money, obviously. It's probably about your cost, but do it just for 20 bucks. Yep, just 20 bucks. Because while a business owner will kind of ruffle their feathers at giving you, a $500 or a $2,000 a month commitment, 20 bucks, heck, you probably got a 20 in your wallet right now. So 20 bucks is nothing. It's an impulse buy. And in this case, it's a service that was already bundled with their main offer. It's something that they were going to do anyway, but it was also the one thing that these business owners needed and wanted the most. They wanted to get their website on Google. They don't really understand. When you're talking to a plumber and contractor, they don't know how any of this stuff works. They're like, all I know is when I go to Google and I type in my company, I can't find it, or my competitor's ranked above us. So just going in and doing some simple stuff for $20 is a great way to demonstrate value in advance. And that's a biggie. When you have a tripwire, when you have one of these product splintering offers, a real low ticket offer, it's an opportunity to demonstrate value in advance far above what you've actually charged for them. So rather than hold it back, we splintered it off into its own product. And here's what happened next. When they went to their next trade show, there were only about 2,000 attendees there. I remember when, we showed up the first day and realized that it wasn't a big trade show. Everybody was a little bit disappointed, a little bit depressed. They're like, oh my gosh, if normally, we're only going to pull 2 or 3 clients out of a 5,000 attendee show, we're going to be lucky to get 1 client at this one. Well, because they had changed up their offer and they weren't asking for marriage on a first date, they were saying, hey, look, let us do this thing for you real quick for 20 bucks. They got 87 people. 87 people, and this was a locksmith trade show. It wasn't even a good show at all for them, but 87 of them bought that splintered service, that $20 service. And what was cool is 19 of them converted to a $500 a month core offer immediately. Right off the bat, because they had already started the process. They had them sit down right there. Okay, let me get you set up. Cool. All right, great. Now, Mr. Client, and that's the important thing. They were now a client, right? Even though they had only given them $20, that person was now a client. So when they were upgrading them, when they were going from the $20 to the $500 a month, it wasn't a change in relationship. They were still a client, right? It wasn't a change in status. It wasn't a change in relationship. It was simply an upgrade, right? Just the same if you meet somebody, right? If you're out in the dating, in the dating world and you meet somebody at a party or a bar and you say, hey, we should go grab coffee sometime. When you ask and you go and have coffee, if while you're getting coffee you say, hey, you want to grab dinner tonight? You've already been on a date with someone. Going out on a second date doesn't fundamentally change the relationship. The biggie where the change occurred was when you went from being strangers to when you met up in the same location and went on a date. Even though it was just for coffee, it was still a date. It's the same thing here. That's the magic of one of these low-end splintered offers, what we call a tripwire or a self-liquidating offer, which you're about to see. So 19 of them upgraded immediately, and because the rest of them were already clients, they were able to convert another 23 later on with some follow-up and after showing some early results. So before each show, they were looking at maybe 3 new clients at $500 a month. They'd pretty much given up the idea of doing trade shows. After, 42 clients at $500 a month, or $21,300 a month from just this one show. And 500 a month is the minimum. Some people obviously upgraded beyond that, and just like people, upgrade from dating to getting married and stuff like that. A lot of these clients did that too. So that's kind of the minimum. So pretty cool. The power of a splintered offer. Now, a lot of people say, yeah, that sounds great, but I don't know if it's going to work for me. So here's some other examples of product splintering that we've done in the past. What about a web designer that sells logos? Right? If you're a web designer and you're going to do a complete website redesign, and that may run anywhere from $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. It's a pretty expensive engagement. What about just doing a logo for someone? If someone is going to get a logo done, you know what they're probably going to need next? A website, right? Now, you might ordinarily bundle a logo with a website redesign rebrand package. But if you just sell it one off, and if you sell it at a very, very, very low cost, and that's a key, you sell it at a very low cost, but you deliver an amazing value, now of course it makes sense that you would redesign their website too. Here's another one. How about a dentist that sells teeth whitening at cost? So a dentist just comes out there, and whatever their dead cost is to whiten someone's teeth, they run a special in their local market saying, we're going to whiten teeth for this. Because you know what you have if you're a dentist and you have someone in your chair and you're whitening their teeth? You have someone who's probably open to going to a new dentist. You definitely have someone who's open and interested in more cosmetic procedures, right? Because they're paying out of pocket for the teeth whitening. So you've got a prospective long-term patient in your chair essentially for free because you're doing it at dead cost. You have a patient. The relationship has fundamentally changed because they drove to your office, they sat in your chair, they opened their mouth, and you got in there with whatever tools you're doing. That's valuable. That's product splintering. Again, it might be something that this dentist would offer as a part of a larger package or try to sell somebody after cleaning their teeth. Why not pluck it out and put it on the front? Here's a weird one. A roofer that offers gutter cleaning. We had a client who's in the roofing business. He's like, yeah, this type of stuff doesn't work for me because I have a really long buying cycle. You never really know when somebody's going to need to get their roof repaired. Well, you know how you can find out if somebody needs their roof repaired? You get on their roof. You know how you can get on their roof, get paid to get on somebody's roof? Clean their gutters. There's tons of gutter cleaning services out there, but I've never seen a roofer offer gutter cleaning. And it makes sense, right? I'm a homeowner. I've got a roof. I've got gutters. If I saw there was a roofing service that was offering free gutter cleaning, or maybe gutter cleaning at significantly less than what everybody else would offer, I'd be like, hey, I'd trust a roofing company over just some dude with a ladder any day of the week, right? And I'd put that out there. We're not just some dude with a ladder. But you know what you got if you're cleaning gutters? If somebody's got gutters, they got a roof, right? And they've got a roof and they care about their home. And you get up there and you look around and you tell them, hey, look, you're maybe a year or two. I mean, obviously, don't lie if this isn't the case. But if they're going to need their roof replaced pretty quickly, maybe in the next year or two, hey, you put those people on your file. You follow up with them. There's going to be some people that need their roof replaced immediately. And everybody's going to there's going to be opportunities. The point is, you're getting paid to acquire customers who care about their home. That's valuable. How about a hosting service that sells website templates, right? If somebody's buying a website template, they're probably going to need to put that website somewhere. Your hosting service would make perfect sense. How about a lawn care service that offers to fertilize off-season at dead cost, right? No, none of the lawn care companies are really talking during the winter. All the lawns are dead. There's nothing to mow. So what if you own a lawn care company, if you go around and you say, hey, look, we're going to do winter weed and feed, and we're going to do it at cost. You probably got workers that aren't working anyway, right? You might as well put them to work, and you might as well start acquiring customers when nobody else is. So now you do a great job for them. It comes around, it says, boy, I sure would like to mow your lawn, when the grass starts coming up. It's going to look great. Hey, sure, why not, right? You have an opportunity. That's the power of product splintering. So when you splinter your existing product or service, the promotional opportunities, they literally become endless. I mean, they're only limited by your own imagination and your own ability to splinter your own product or service. And that's how you make more sales from the leads and prospects that you already have, right? If you have a list, but you're going back to them with the same offer over and over and over again, they're eventually going to unsubscribe. They are. At worst, they're going to stop paying attention. It would almost be better if they unsubscribed, but they're going to stop paying attention. But if every week you're coming out with something just a little bit different, that's still interesting, that's still relevant to what got them on your list in the first place, but you're offering it and positioning it a little bit differently, you really have something. You give them a new and different opportunity to engage with you and your brand. And that's what we're trying to do. So the lesson is that product splintering equals more customers, and specifically more customers from the leads and prospects that you already have. So this is the first step to getting more from what you got, right? You got a list, you got some leads, you got some prospect. Maybe it's a dead list, right? Maybe they're sick of everything that you have to offer. This is a good way to go back to them and get more from what you got. But there's one more lesson in conversion hack that you can learn from this particular case study. So don't put that worksheet away just yet. And that's the power of self-liquidating offers, okay? A self-liquidating offer. So when we sold that $7 report, remember how I said we didn't care about the $7? Well, why didn't we care about the $7? Because we knew that for everybody who bought this $7 product, we were going to offer them the $47 product. And remember how over 26% of them went ahead and bought it? And this was to a list of people that had already seen this offer. Actually, when we went out to cold traffic and we started buying advertising, the conversion rate was even higher. It was north of 30%. So we were able to go out to affiliates. We were able to say, hey, affiliates, sell this $7 report and we'll give you 100% commission, right? We were able to go and buy traffic and make no money off of that $7 report. We didn't care. We didn't have to, right? Because we knew that because this was a splintered product, because we just plucked something out of our core offer, that there was a core offer waiting on the back to sell these folks, and a significant portion of them would upgrade. They would ascend. So as long as we weren't losing money to acquire the customer, that's why I said before, if you're a dentist, put them in your chair at dead cost. As long as you're not losing money on acquisition, you literally can't lose. We got to the point though where we were happy to go backwards quite a bit because so many people were ascending up to the core offer. It's the same thing with this guy, right? When you're selling, $1,000, $2,000 antique guitars on the back, you don't mind going out there and spending $8, and selling these things at dead cost because you know that they bought a bunch of guitar picks. They probably got a bunch of guitars. They're probably going to want some more guitars. Same exact thing for my buddy in the candle business, right? He was happy to sell wicks at dead cost because you're not going to buy a wick to replace the wicks in your existing candles, right? Nobody buys replacement wicks for candles they already own. That's weird. If you do that, stop. That's weird, right? What people do if they're buying a wick, they want to make their own candles. So there was no doubt. They bought a wick from me. They're going to need oils. They're going to need fragrances. They're going to need wax. They're going to need molds. They're going to have all these things. So if they buy my wicks, they're going to do so. As long as I'm not losing money selling the wicks, I know I'm going to win. You can't help but win. So these are all what we call self-liquidating offers or tripwire offer, right? It's a very low ticket front-end offer that is designed to get you buyers at break even or maybe a little bit better. Because again, the goal of these products is not to make profit. The goal is to generate a customer while simultaneously covering all your marketing costs or liquidating all your marketing costs. Hence the term self-liquidating offer. You're liquidating your marketing costs on that initial purchase. And this completely changes the economics of your business. I'll tell you, if you get this concept, it completely changes the economics of your business. Once you can acquire buyers at break even, everything else they purchase from you goes straight into your pocket. And that's why this concept of the self-liquidating offer and the product splintering both go hand in hand. Okay? Because if you have an offer and you splinter out a little product and you turn that into your self-liquidating offer or your tripwire, then the people that buy that, you instantly have something else to sell them because your self-liquidating offer was a splinter product off of your core offer. Starting to make sense? So, and as you'll see in video number 3, this one simple concept, right? This concept of self-liquidating offers is the key to perpetual traffic. Okay? So a lot of people ask me, okay, Ryan, this sounds great, but how do I get traffic? This is the key, and I'm going to talk about this in video number 3 in much, much, much greater depth. It's also how you make your business unbeatable. I mean, if you're able and willing to spend more to acquire a customer because you can acquire customers at break even because you know that you're going to be able to sell them something else, then you become unbeatable. Your competition literally cannot beat you. They cannot understand how you're able to make money selling your dang Wix at dead cost when they're trying to make money doing it. And that's how you get to win. So I'm now going to make a somewhat shocking statement. Okay, so be prepared to have baby-sized bug eyes. There is no such thing as a traffic problem. We are going to address traffic in video number 3, but I want to tell you right now, there is no such thing as a traffic problem. There are only strategy problems. If you want traffic, I'm here to tell you it is available. I don't care what market you're in, it is available. Whether you need to buy it from Facebook or Google or YouTube, whether you need to go out there and contract affiliates to generate it for you, if you want traffic, traffic is available. It is out there for you to have. The trick, the key, the strategy problem is figuring out how do you orchestrate a strategy such that you can afford to pay whatever that traffic costs, which is more than what your competitors are willing to pay. So what you really need is a customer getting strategy. That's really the key. And fortunately, that's exactly what you're getting in this mini class. When we talk about the 3X method, it really is about tripling your business so that you're able and willing to spend more to acquire a customer. And by the time you consume all the videos in this series and fill out all the blanks in your conversion hacks worksheet, you'll have a complete customer getting strategy. That's my goal for you. That's what I want you to have, a complete customer getting strategy, because I know not only will it allow you to double or triple your business in the short term, it'll allow you to reinvest a whole lot more in your business while putting a whole lot more in your pocket. So over the long haul, that's how you get the 10x and the 20x that we were able to get with the previous example where we grew it from $30,000 a month to over $1 million a month, right? That's when things get really, really exciting. And we actually call these customer getting strategies conversion funnels. And we'll talk more about that, right? Especially in future videos, primarily in video number 3. Okay, so that does it for part 1. I realized that this video was kind of theoretical, right? We talked about some big concepts and some big topics. The next one is going to be way, way, way more tactical. Okay, we're going to talk about 2 conversion hacks that will double the leads from the traffic you're already getting. We'll give you a simple sequence change, right? Just not rewriting your sales copy or anything, just changing the sequence a little bit so that you can make that really it never fails to dramatically boost conversion rates. I'll give you a 3-word follow-up email that gets 50% more sales from the leads you already have, plus the magic formula for doubling the value of every customer who buys from you. And again, it's a simple concept and it's something that works in every business. I don't care if you're selling digital products, software, if you run an e-commerce store, if you're doing consulting or you have an agency or some type of professional practice, whatever you're doing, this strategy works. And remember, if you can double the value of every customer, you are able and willing to spend more to acquire more customers, and you're still putting a lot more money in your pocket. And that's what this game of business is all about. So, video 2 goes live tomorrow. Until then, comment below and let me know what you thought about this one. Okay? Scroll down below, comment, let me know what you thought about this. Did you find it helpful? Was anything confusing? Do I need to emphasize something a little bit more? Do you have any questions? And specifically, I want to hear how you plan to splinter your own product or service, right? Let's brainstorm. Let's have a cool little community here. We're going back and sharing ideas with one another. So there's some comment boxes below. Go down, comment, let me know what you think. And because I want to hear, how are you going to acquire more customers from the traffic and leads you're already getting? And how are you going to make sure you don't look like this girl, right? How are you going to make sure that you're not proposing marriage on a first date, which is what you're probably doing today with your customers, all right? So comment below, even if it's just to say hi, and I'll see you in video number 2.